Good
morning, everyone. Department of English and IQAC cordially invite you for the webinar for the Cultivating Book Reading Habits among College Students on the topic of Turn the Pages, Feel the Difference. I'm Chandrakala of 2nd BSc Chemistry of Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College, doing Master of Ceremony for the wonderful session. One of the marvelous things about community is that it enables us to welcome and help people in a way we couldn't as individuals. It's my honor to welcome Dr. V. Nagajoti sir, Director of Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College, to deliver the welcome address to the participants. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to everyone. Respected President, Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College. Respected Secretary Sir, Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College. Respected Joint Secretary, Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College. Respected Principal Ma'am, and our Chief Guest today, Dr.N.Alamelu Sathyabama of D.G.Vaishnav College. I cordially invite all of you for this wonderful program today organized by IQAC and the Department of English. And this is one of the most important topics where most of our students nowadays, they are not reading anything and they started watching everything. Because after this smartphone arrival, our entire reading habits switched over from reading a book into reading through Google, or reading a newspaper into reading the newspaper through Google. Like this, there are a lot of things are happening, but we are watching more, but reading less. And today, our expert is there with us, and she is going to deliver a talk. How to read and how to inculcate the habit of reading. It's one of the most vital topic and the most important topic, and particularly the youngsters, those who are there today, they need this particular topic in order to pop up with the future life. So with these few words, I am thankful to our management for the opportunity given to us. And with this, I hand over back to this session to the moderator of the session. I cordially once again welcome on behalf of me. I am cordially welcoming Dr. N.Alamelu Sathyabama, Assistant Professor of Department of Accounting and Finance, D.G.Vaishnav College, once again. Thank you very much. Over to the moderator.
Thank you, sir. Words embody power to inspire or motivate us, but it is only we who have power to open up to see and feel it. May I request Mrs. M. Vijayalakshmi ma'am, HOD, Department of English, to present chief guest introduction to the participants. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chandra. Dr.N.Alamelu Sathyabama is an assistant professor in Department of Accounting and Finance at D.G.Vaishnav College, Arumbakkam. She completed her undergraduation in BBM Bank Management, post-graduation MCom, MPhil, PhD in Commerce at D.G.Vaishnav College. At present, she is pursuing PGDHE at Indira Gandhi University. She has imparted in subjects like marketing, computer application in business, principles of management, financial accounting, management accounting, corporate accounting, human resource management, banking theory, law and practice. She has published the book in Basics of Retail Marketing. She has been a resource person on the topics like recent trends in marketing, funding schemes for women startups, how to start a small business. She has been a coordinator in conducting their many department online programs. She has presented papers on many national and international conferences. She has published 4 papers on popular journals. She has also organized the national seminar on the topic of management practices beyond the horizon. We are very fortunate to have you as a chief guest for today's webinar. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So shall I start?
It's time to invite
Yes.
our chief guest, Dr. N.Alamelu Sathyabama ma'am, to address the participants. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed a great pleasure, and I feel elated to be part of this wonderful program and having invited me as a resource person for the webinar organized by Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College on the topic Turn the Pages, Feel the Difference. It is all about cultivating book reading habits among college students. Now, I don't want to vaguely start with how to bring the habit of reading, as in my topic I suggested, but I want to stress why reading is important and how does it play a major role in your academics or in your career and in also your life as a long-term basis. We know very well students are the torch bearers of tomorrow. Therefore, fostering them, nurturing them, encouraging them in a sense of self-respect, self-discipline, the capacity to enjoy life, then the capacity to enjoy life as independent, self-motivated adults, and willingness to care for others are extremely needed, pertinent today. So that is why is the reason for choosing this topic, cultivating the reading habits of the young adults or even for school going children and college students. Yes, reading is good, reading is fun, reading is important for our academics, reading for our self improvement, okay, reading for vocabulary. Then there are some statements you hear normally, like read every day from your parents, from your teachers, from your well-wishers, your friends, etc. But have you ever thought why they repeat these statements again and again? Why your teachers are saying, why your parents are saying, why your friends, your well-wishers are saying, repeatedly commenting this statement? Have you ever thought why books are important? That too, this 2020, after 2021, I hope all the students might have cultivated the reading habits because that is really helpful for your life. How? I have been repeating these sentences. We will address to these questions in this webinar today. But before moving on to the slides and other aspects of reading, I want to consider a scenario. So we will consider the scenario of two students, say student A and student B, right? Student A and B studying in the same college of same department, pursuing same degree, right? And now, after taking the final examinations, their results had been out. So I have a question now. You may also put it in chat box. Who do you think will score more? Is that my question is clear? No, not at all. Because I told student A, student B studying in same college, same department, same degree, and their results are out. No one will answer who has scored more. Yes, I know it is something a strange question, a vague question. But let me give you some hints, right? The hints are as easy, like person A has more concentration towards studies and he has long-term memory, person A. Whereas person B has opposite of that, yes, short-term memory and has less concentration towards study. So obviously, your answer will be person A, right? Person A would have scored good marks than person B. Okay, why I have been considering this scenario? Why I need to raise these questions? Um, are these questions necessary to analyze? Are these questions necessary to analyze? Yes, it is necessary to analyze, and you will come to know the answers for all these questions after completing this webinar. So stay tuned. Let me share a PowerPoint presentation. Um, Ma'am, can you help me out in sharing PowerPoint? Yes. Ma'am, can you send the PowerPoint, please?
Madam, you have to open the PowerPoint from your mobile, madam, or else you just mail it to us. We'll
Yeah, I
share
have
it.
shared it to the WhatsApp to Vijayalakshmi, ma'am.
Madam, I'm
Ah,
showing. Okay, I'll get it from her.
ah. So, how many of you here read books? On what kind of books you read? You may also post it in chat box. In the meanwhile, and which kind of books you like to read? Is it a fiction books or a novel books or a general newspaper, or you are a voracious magazine reader? See, it is not, you need to read only English books or any kind of any regional language that you may resort to. Any books that gives you a good self improvement, a self development that you may resort to. Yes, ma'am. So, our topic is turn the pages and feel the difference. So, it is a webinar on cultivating book reading habits among college students. Ma'am, next slide, please. Yes. So, I told you why reading is important. So, if you start cultivating reading habit, it helps you to know what is your area of interest. Just you spend 10 minutes, that is enough. If you spend even half an hour, that is more than enough, that you will be able to find out what is your subject of interest or your area of interest. And that too, you please underline this sentence: from an early age. From an early age, if you start, then you will be able to know, gauge your area of interest. And it is also easier to choose the topic of the choice for your higher studies. When you want to pursue your higher studies, you may you may take correct choice for pursuing higher studies. Then If you select good books, it can shape the personality of a person. So that is why reading is very, very important. So from an early age itself, you may develop an area of interest, your subject of interest, and it also helps them in choosing your higher studies without any confusions. And if you start selecting good books and you start and cultivate the reading habit, it shapes your personality. Next slide. Yes. Now, there is a question. Do you know? Just have a guess, okay? How many books an average CEO reads over a period of 1 year? Any guesses? You may put it in chat box also. Just have a try. How many books an average CEO reads for a period of 1 year? Any guesses or any answers? I'm not getting any answer in the chat box. Okay, you may think 10 or 20 or 30. Shall we see the answer now? Next slide, ma'am. Next slide, please. Yes, it is 10 or 30 or 60. The option is C, that is 60 books. Normally, that is on an average, the CEO reads 60 books comprising of the self-development books, self-improvement books, motivation books, fictions, non-fictions of your interest. So around 60 books over a period of 1 year and CEO reads. Okay, next slide. So you also please cultivate the habit of reading. Yes. So most CEOs and other business leaders, this is also a very important slide. Kindly watch on. Most CEOs and other business leaders read at a ferocious pace of more than one book per week. It's not one book in a week, that is one book per week. That means 4 weeks, 4 books in a month. They will complete at least 4 to 5 books. They complete reading the books. Isn't that amazing? Yes, that's amazing. So most CEOs and other business leaders read at a ferocious pace of more than one book per week. So students, please note this down. Then next slide, ma'am. Yes. I told you why book reading is important, right? So why it is important? In the first slide we have seen it improves your personality, it improves your area of interest. Then it also helps you in pursuing your higher studies without any confusion. Now, if you see, there is a survey, there was a research conducted by Yale researchers who studied on an average 3,635 people and whose age they are older than 40, so I mean 50. And they made them to read the books for only 30 minutes daily on an average. Okay, they chose that is older than 50 and they gave them a book to read only for 30 minutes, right? On an average of 23 months than non-readers. And what was the result? What they found from them? The sample size is 3,635 people, right? And apparently, they came to know that from the result, from the researchers, they came to know that the practice of reading book creates cognitive engagement. That created a cognitive engagement, and that that improves lots of things, including vocabulary, and that improves the thinking skills, and that led to a deep concentration. Okay, so your cognitive engagement is very, very important. Thinking skills should develop, positive thinking, improving your vocabulary, and that lead to deep concentration. That led to deep concentration. Yes, that led to deep concentration. And it can also have effect on empathy. You understand others' feelings also. See, if you start reading book, if you cultivate the habit of reading books, the primary thing which or that we need from a human being is showing empathy towards others, right? So showing empathy, understanding others' feelings is all the more important. So it by reading books, it will develop a sort of empathy, and you have a social perception, you improve your emotional intelligence, and some of which helps people on the planet to live longer. So all these, the qualities, the traits you get, and that makes people happier and to stay on the planet longer. So it's the people who read more books live longer in the planet. Yes, ma'am. Next slide. Ma'am, yes. Next. Reading strengthens your brain. Again, there is a research, and this is being conducted by the researcher called as the trusted source. And they used this research using MRI scans. Normally, we conduct research by issuing a questionnaire to the people and start collecting the data. Then we edit it. Then we come to an understanding. We give a major findings, and we give a scope for further studies. That is a normal way of researchers in an academic side. But this research has been conducted by using MRI scans. Okay, so how was this research conducted? So the researchers have confirmed that, just if you see the slide, they have confirmed that reading involves a complex network of circuits and signals in the brain. As your reading ability matures, if you go on reading, if you spend at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes in a day, and if you continue reading, those networks also get stronger and more sophisticated. This was proven by using MRI scans, and this research was done by the trusted source, and that is conducted in the year 2013, and they want to check really whether this works out or not. And really it worked. Yes, true. So what do they say? It involves a complex network of circuits and signals in the brain, and those networks will make your brain stronger and more sophisticated. And if you see the next point, like see, researchers used functional MRI scan. They used what is called as functional MRI scan to measure the effect of reading a novel on the brain. Okay, so they made people to read a novel, right? And the study participants, those who participated in the research, they were given a novel book, book called Pompeii for over a period of 9 days. Okay, so participants were there. They were given a book, a novel. The name of the novel is Pompeii, and they were made to sit and read for 9 days. And ma'am, the previous slide, please. Yes, and as the tension built in the story, and more areas of the brain lit up with activity. Once they start reading, their brain started functioning with more activity, replenishments, creativity. It strengthened their brain. Then it got stronger and able to think with more suggestions and solutions. And brain scan showed that throughout the reading period and for days afterward, the brain connectivity has started increasing. The connectivity in the brain started increasing, and that is especially in which part of the brain? The somatosensory cortex. In the part of the brains that responds to the physical sensation like movement and pain. So they came to an understanding. The major finding was that it especially touches the somatosensory cortex that is present in our brain, and that responds to various physical sensations like movement and pain. So I think from this, you may cultivate or you may start reading at least, because it has got huge impact on your brain too, right? Next slide, ma'am. Yes. It creates a sparking creativity. Yes, ma'am, we know by reading it creates a sparking creativity. Yes, I understand. But how this creativity works in your work atmosphere or when you get a job? Okay, so you need to concentrate on this slide also. Again, there was a research conducted, a study published in the Creativity Research Journal, and it was found that those who read fictional short stories were more comfortable with ambiguity and had more open minds than people who read non-fiction essays. Actually, this was one research published in the Creativity Research Journal, where they focus on only the fictional short stories. And those who have the habit of reading fictional short stories, they become more open-minded. So if you want to cultivate interest in reading of fictional short stories, you become more open-minded. So in case of any ambiguity or in case of any stress or difficulties, you face with open-minded, right? Than non-fiction essays. And the fiction readers were mentally stimulated and more likely to expand their ways of thinking. Yes, that's what. The thinking expands. You become more open-minded and you start listening to others. You create a you create a sense of patience among groups, or when you move sociably, or when you talk with your friends or relatives, and you will be in a position to understand the environment where you are living, right? So all these, only the book will give you all these traits or the qualities. Yes, and those are key components of generating creative ideas and having a creative business idea that can be pivotal or vital whether your enterprise succeeds. So actually, this was the question I started before that. Why creativity is needed? Yes, creativity is important. But if you start cultivating the reading habits of fictional short stories, you become open-minded. You listen to others. You start, um, understanding the others' feelings, ideas, yeah, showing empathy, and you can generate a component of a creative idea, and that is essential while you work at the organization, because you will be the base for creating any business ideas, and that would be a vital in the enterprise success, right? So that is, try reading the fictional stories. Yes, as much as possible. Yes, next slide, ma'am. Yeah. Can you move on to next slide? Yes. Okay, how this help you in your career, right? Yes. Creativity is something, I think that is a continuation of that, how it creates creativity or sparking creativity. So, yes, creativity is something everyone uses daily in every field. Okay. Although it might be most closely associated with the arts, the application of creativity in business is undeniable. So when you solve problems in the workplace, if you want to solve any problem or any kind of situation you face at your workplace, you will be able to solve in a jiffy. Okay, that quality you will emulate only by reading habits. Only if you develop reading habit, right? And for example, you may need a creative approach to finding the right solution, right? So creativity also has seeds in business tasks such as organization, where you have to figure out innovative ways to maximize time and resources in constrained situation, right? So during COVID situation or any kind of constrained situation or any unstructured problem, any unexpected emergency situation, in that kind of situation, it is that creativity helps you in solving this. That will help you to figure out the way. Okay, that will help you to figure out some innovative idea. So all this creativity will develop only if you read, right? So creativity is also an invaluable one, and that is very much needed for successful marketing and even in advertising campaigns. So if you are into the commerce field, if you are into the marketing field, if you are into advertising field, then this creativity is very much important. So I think, okay, I think some of the um, questions being posed, let me answer, sir. um, Yes. So creativity is also invaluable to successful marketing and advertising campaign. So this helps you in career too. So creativity is the only thing that is needed in our career first and foremost, right? Your attitude play a vital role, right? Creativity, then of course communication skill, your vocabulary, then your personality. That's what my first point was: personality, improving your personality, your development, your body language. All that will give you, and I challenge you that if you start reading books, all these qualities you will emulate easily. Within a year, you emulate. Yes, then. Ma'am, next slide, can you, yes, improved sleep. How many of you here are getting a good sleep? எனக்கு எனக்கு படுத்தோன தூக்கம் வருது அப்படின்னு எவ்வளவு பேர் வந்து அக்செப்ட் பண்றீங்க? I think that's a big question. Improved sleep. See, I told you that average on a CEO reads one book in a week. Then in 1 month, 4 to 5 books. Okay. See, reading a book is a daunting one. It's a very tough one. Okay. I'm not stressing you to read um, full fiction or novel. You may take even newspaper. You may take even the downtown, which is coming in The Hindu. Anything is okay. First and foremost, you start developing the reading habit, right? And that is why I targeted this improved sleep. Again, you know the famous writer Stephanie Huston. and her view about the reading habits, and she found one thing from her life, her thinking that she did not have enough time turned out to be a lame excuse. So she made a goal. She does not want to give any excuse. Okay, so she wants to stick on to time. So she made a goal to herself to read 50 books in a year. Because why she has taken this decision in is that I have given in the slide. She says that she has wasted time on her phone for flipping pages in bed, on trains, during meal breaks, and while waiting in line. Yes, always gluing to TV and seeing mobile phones, flipping pages, all those things, wasting time. So she made a goal to read at least 50 books in a year, like how CEOs behaves. So 2 months into her challenge, she reports. So after reading book, she reported that she is having more peace first, more peace, satisfaction, and improved sleep by learning more than she thought possible. Right? So, 2 months, after 2 months, she was able to feel a kind of peace, a kind of improved sleep, a sense of satisfaction. So this was her view, her feedback about the book reading. Even though it might sound daunting, it's not that easy to cultivate the habit of reading, but we need to, at least we need to allot time. We need to plan ourselves to allot time, at least 15 minutes, at least 5 minutes to start with, at least 10 minutes. Then gradually you increase your timing and you start this as a normal routine. You keep reading habit as your normal routine. Yes. Now, next slide, ma'am. Next slide. Yeah, the last slide. And let me answer the question. Yes. Successful people are readers. Successful people are readers. It's because high achievers are keen on self-improvement. Please, high achievers are keen on self-improvement. They want to improve by themselves, self-improvement. So hundreds of successful executives, businessmen, business tycoons have shared their views. What they have shared, that the books have helped them get where they are today. They agreed 100% that the books only have helped them get where they are today. So I think this is the last slide, and even I want to, even Abdul Kalam also mentioned many quotes regarding the book reading. Each and every house should have a library. Okay, books become your permanent companion. Sometimes they are born before us. These are the quotes said by Abdul Kalam. They guide us during our life journey, and they continue for many generations. So he has given many quotes on reading books. Books are your friends. Books travels along with you. So these are some evergreen quotes of Sir Abdul Kalam. So I hope this webinar would have given or enlightened you with some ideas on how or why reading is important. So the scenarios which we considered, right? Person A, person B. So the scenarios which person A, person B. Okay, I will answer to the question. Person A obviously scored good marks because he reads book, so he has long-term memory. That's the reason why he scored good marks. Yes, now we can answer the questions. Now, I have a doubt. Storybooks are easy to read, but textbooks are very, very difficult to read. Give a conclusion to this. That is related to your psychology. Okay. When you take storybook, what your mindset says, you feel you show a kind of interest towards it. The same kind of interest or that happiness or that kind of involvement that is not being present while taking the textbooks. Am I right? So it is your mindset. Many are reading textbooks in the same mindset only. That is psychology. That is psychology of a person. At the time of taking textbook itself, you feel you have a kind of fear, a sense of fear. ஐயோ நான் அதை படிச்சு முடிக்கணுமே, இதை மக் பண்ணணுமே, இது தெரியலையே அப்படின்னு. பட் த சேம் if you take story books, you don't have any preconceived notion. You just start taking and reading. So first evade those, you just come out, you weed away those mindsets, the preconceived notions you weed away. Okay. At the time of taking textbook, you just remember, yes, I will complete this. It is very easy for me. This is my target. I will definitely complete this. You just take in that mindset, you will finish it off. Okay? Yeah. Yes, and some has posted, sir has posted one. Yeah. Yes. How to prepare for IAS, how reading will help me. Sir, there are, sir, it is our self-interest only, sir. There are so many free YouTubes are offering IAS coaching. And first, you please understand what are the types of questions they are asking. And based on that, you get n number of reading materials from the internet, from library, from referring to newspapers, from past year question papers. What are the general books that one should read? What I would suggest is, at the early stage, you may go for the general books such as Enid Blyton's stories, which is of in simple English. Even though it's a novel, it's a story book, which is given in a simple English, where it will be so much of fun, and that creates an interest in reading. Once you have created the interest, then automatically you may go for personality development books, then self-improvement books, motivational books, all those kind of stuffs you may depend on or rely on. And I'm having an idea of reading books from where I will get books free of cost. Free of cost, I don't think so. Maybe you may get it at a half rate at a Moore Market or in the second-hand bookshop, not at a free of cost. Or if any of your friends or relatives are ferocious reader, you may get from them at a free of cost. Yeah, any other question? What is the reason now people are not wish to read epic books like Ramayana? Sir, everything starts from home, we say normally. That is a normal saying. எதா இருந்தாலும் முதல்ல ஒரு ஃபேமிலிலேருந்து வீட்டிலேருந்து தான் ஆரம்பிக்குது அப்படின்றாங்க, கரெக்டா? So it is the personal factors that should motivate them to read these sorts of books. That is why in my first slide, I have given that everything should start from early age. Everyone now want to earn money, click on the computer, earn money. They want to lead a very sophisticated life, but that is not actually the life is. It is people surrounded by you, like parents, teachers, your well-wishers, should tell you about, like, to read on or to watch on these epic literatures like Ramayana and Mahabharata. Name any few Indian readers and writers. Yeah. See, one of the famous, um, or I like Abdul Kalam, because he is a person who pass messages for the readers and who advises to read books. Who advises to read books. And if you ask me, the best writer, um, I tell you one thing: John Hillary, then J.K. Rowling, then Anand Bhattacharya. Those were really a good Indian writers. I mean, this Anand Bhattacharya is an Indian writer who concentrates more on the leadership qualities, the self-improvement and the leadership qualities. And these Harry Potters and J.K. Rowling, that creates a sense of interest among the school-going children and even for the college-going children. This is John Hathaway, uh, Clinton Williams books that tells you the successes, how successful people are, what kind of the failures they met in their life. That will give us an extract while reading those books. So I like those people. Then the very best I can say is only Abdul Kalam sir. Yes, any other question? What is your favorite book, ma'am? Yeah, I tell you, it will be so funny, but my favorite book till now is Tinkle, Tinkle Digest. I like, because why I say that is the fundamental, there is a fundamental, simple English books which I have ever seen in my life, like very fundamental. That only helped me, at least to this level, my vocabulary. Then that engaged me a lot. And that was so fun also, where I used to discuss all kinds of story, even with my college students and even with my uh, parents, my son, my relatives, to all those. So even though I read books, all self-improvement books, motivating books, etc., but my favorite is only Tinkle Digest. Yes, any other question, please? Any questions? Yes. So I thank Dr. Nagajyoti sir for giving me an opportunity to conduct this webinar, and I feel privileged to be present. And I thank Principal Ma'am and all the faculty members for organizing such a wonderful program. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this platform.
Thank you, ma'am. If the only prayer you said in your whole life was thank you, that would suffice. I invite Mr. R. Sandal Kumaran sir, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to propose the word of welcome gratitude. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. And behalf of the English department, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Dr.N.Alamelu Sathyabama, Assistant Professor, Department of Accounting and Finance. Our management, Dr. N. Sujata Ma'am, Principal in charge of Sri Chandraprabhu Jain College, and Dr. V. Nagajodi Sir, Director of Sri Chandraprabhu Jain College. Thank you. Sincere thanks to heads of the various department and faculty members who sustained the event throughout. A wide round of applause and thanks to all the participants who made the event a memorable one finally. I would like to thank all of you present here for making the time to be with us today and helping us making this event a grand success. Thank you and thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Once again, thank you all the participants for joined.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.